Hi there crafters, and welcome back to my channel. It's my nephew's birthday on Tuesday, so I'm going to make him a wallet card because that way I can make him a card, but also I can use it to put money in. He's going to be 23, and that's what 23-year-old boys want for their birthday apparently. So, that's what he wants, that's what he'll get. So I'm starting off with this lovely, it's about a 250 GSM brown, slightly textured card. It's got little ridges on. I don't know if that's picking it up. That's what I'm using, but feel free to use whatever you want. And the measurements of the card, so the base card is 10 inches by 7 inches, or 25 centimetres by 17 3/4. Then we'll have two pockets inside, and those are 2 inches by 4.5 inches, or 5 centimetres by 11.5 centimetres. We'll also need a little tab closure, which is 1 inch by 2 inches, or 2.5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. You'll also need a couple of magnets for the closure as well, and you will also need a couple of small pieces of scrap to cover the magnets as well. So that's the base. You'll also need some white card, which is 9.5 inches, or 3 3/4 inches, which is 2.5 by, oh no, sorry, which is 23 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. And you'll also need two pieces of white card, which will be 2.5 inches by 4 inches, 2.5 by 4, which is 6.5 centimetres by 10 centimetres. And I'm doing mine slightly different because my white paper is double the size, the big sheet, because I'm going to put the money inside the pocket in there. So that is 9.5 inches by 7.5 inches, which is 23 centimetres by 19 centimetres that way. So depending on what effect you want, depends on what size paper you want to use with the white. Okay, so let's crack on. Let's move these out of the way. So let's start with the big sheet. So on the 10-inch side, we're going to score at 5 inches, just straight down like that. And on the 7-inch side, we're going to score at 4 inches. That's right, yeah, 4 inches. Okay, and that's all your scoring done, but you do have to reinforce these really, really well. Okay, let's get rid of that for a second. Okay, so I'm going to fold that up. So this is going to be the inside of the wallet. So what I want to do is to fold it both ways, just to reinforce that score line, because otherwise you are fighting with your card when you then come to do the middle. So I'm going to fold it over singly first. So I've opened it out. I'm going to fold it both ways. This is nice card as well, it doesn't crack. So I'm going to now fold it up, and I'm going to fold it over again, and this time I'm going to hold it really tight and reinforce all of those score lines. There we go. Really reinforce those score lines. Now I said 5 inches, what's that in centimetres? Let's flip that over. So that would be 12.5 centimetres, just in case anyone's wondering. So reinforce those as well as you can, because you're going to be putting things inside this wallet, so we need those creases to give us a little bit of space. Okay, so once you get to there, I'm then going to use a corner rounder, and I'm going to round the top corner. So we've got the big tops. Well, actually it's probably easier to do it this way. Fold that up, and at what's going to be the top of the wallet, we want to do these corners. So I'm going to, that's a single piece, and then this is going to be a bit harder to do the double there. Oh, there we go. So I've rounded that end, and now I'm going to round this end as well. And that as well. There we go. So we end up with these still being corners, because those are the top of the wallet bit, the pocket bit. So we've got rounded corners here, and rounded corners here. Okay, so that's the base of our wallet started. Now, I would have liked to have put some monogram on here, but as everybody knows, I'm moving rooms, and right now I can't find some of my stamps, and I can't find my embossing powder. So if you want to do some embossing, now's the time to do it. Open it out and use your crease and do some embossing. I'd have liked to have put Jake's letters, the letters of Jake's name on there, or even just put Jake, my nephew's name, on there. But unfortunately that's not going to happen. His birthday, can't find anything. I was lucky to find paper and card. So that's the base done. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to one side, and then we can start working on these. Now with your tab, your 1 inch by 2 inch tab, I'm going to use my corner rounder, and I'm going to round one end, both corners. I'm going to leave this one as it is, but this end I'm going to corner round. I'm going to pop that in there. Oh, my corner rounder has just jammed. No wonder, it's full of paper. There we go. So I'm going to pop one end in and round it, and then I want to do this end as well. So I'm going to pop that in the other way and round it, and that's what we want for our tag, because this is going to go round from the back to the front of the wallet like that. You can't see very well because it's the same colours, but so that's that done. And then the pockets, these are going to be the pockets for inside the wallet. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to corner round these two, so the top two. So that one and that one, but I'm going to leave these two, the bottom two, as they are. So I've corner rounded those two. Let's do the same with this one. Corner round both of them. Okay, so now we're starting to see our pockets starting to develop. Okay, let's push them over there. Now, I've also got a 1 inch circle punch, and I'm going to use this to do a little finger lift out of there. So just very carefully, I'm going to eyeball it. Oops, don't want that much taken out. So I'm going to very carefully measure the middle, do slightly under halfway, half the circle, grab it and push. So now I've got that. So now my piece of card looks like that. And I'm going to do the same with the other one. Put that in the bin, eyeball it, do slightly less than halfway on the circle, and push. Okay, and that one is exactly the same, and there's our tag. Okay, and this then is the base of our card, all done. Now then, before I do anything else, I'm going to, and this is entirely optional, you know, decorate it as you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a white gel pen. Excuse me, that's my husband doing some drilling. Just 1 second, he stopped. I'm going to use a white gel pen to put some faux stitching all the way around my base card. So just doing dash lines all the way around, down the bottom and across. I'm going to go all the way around the edge of all of that on both of them. I'm also going to do the tab all the way around, and as this is going to be seen, because I'm going to glue it to the back, I'm actually going to do the whole lot of it. You can tuck it in and hide it if you want to, hide the end if you want to, but I'm going to make a feature of it. And then, let me just move those to one side, I'm also going to do this. Now, what I'm going to do, so I'm folding it in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the inside, I'm going to do all the way around here and across, all the way. So starting at the top, I'm going to do, oops, all the way across, all the way down here, round here, it'll be one line all the way around, and then across here. I'm not going to go up the middle. I'm then going to do exactly the same on this side, and then on the inside I'm also going to do across the top there. Okay, so by the magic of blue pizza style, here's what I prepared earlier. So as you can see, this is all done. All I need to do now is do across the top there. So I'm going to start there and go all the way around. Just doing small dashes so that it looks like faux stitching. And this pen, it's just a gel pen. I can't remember where I got this from. It's quite a good one. Jelly roll, it says on it. So I don't know whether you can still get them. I've had it for a couple of years, I think. Don't use it very often because it's hidden away. I'm hoping once I get my room sorted, I'll be able to find things much easier so I can use some of the stuff that I'm finding. It's fabulous, great fun. Problem is, I keep wanting to stop and investigate. Right then, so I've done both the pockets. What I'm going to do then, already done it with the one, is using my glue. I'm just going to go, oh, far too much there. Let's take that off. I'm going to go where the finger lift is, this end. I'm not going to put any glue there. I'm putting it both down both short sides and across the bottom, which is opposite to the finger lift. So very carefully, try not to get as much glue out as I had before. I'm going to run a little bead of glue if it ever comes out. Glue down both sides. Just it either comes out really quick or it doesn't want to come out at all. Okay, there we go. Are we off? And across the bottom, like that. And I'm just going to pop that down like that. I didn't corner around those, did I? Oh well, these ones will be straight. Corner rounded the tops of those, but didn't do it on those ones, did I? Completely forgot. Hey ho, never mind. So you've got a choice. Round it or don't round it. Entirely up to you. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to dry a little bit. This one's already dry, and what I've done is the papers, the white paper, the 2.5 by 4, I've corner rounded both of those, well, all 4 corners, and on that one I've put happy birthday. So I'm just going to pop that in there like that, and then because I've used a double piece, so you can use either one piece like this, oops, which will fit in there like that, and that's a single piece, and then you can put your sentiments, and then you've got somewhere to write, so that when he takes it out you've got who's it to and who's it's from. Or because I'm going to use this one as a money wallet, this is double the size, so this one is 9 inches by 7.5 inches that way. And what I've done is I've just cut a piece down there. Actually, I need to corner around that as well. Let's do that corner. And I've just cut so that it looks like it's a tab. So I've just used my ruler to cut a piece across, and then I've corner rounded all of the corners so that when you can see it, it looks quite nice. So that when I'm going to pop the money in like that, so it just sticks out so you can see, and then I'm going to pop it in like that. I've stamped happy birthday across the top. Oh, excuse me. That's all the dust I'm creating, moving everything, I guess. So that when it's in there, he can see the money, so that he knows to take it out. And then I'll put a sentiment in the middle, and then to and from on there. So now, this is the tricky bit. This is the bit now where the magnets are going to go onto our wallet to hold it closed. So what I've done is I've used the tag and I've eyeballed it, so I've taken it, put it like that so I can see where it looks good, and then I've just folded it over like that. Very carefully, using a bone folder, I just creased it down just so as we know where it's going to go and how it looks. There we go, so that we've got a really good crease going on. So that's going to go on there. Now I haven't glued it down just yet, because what I've then done is I've got my magnet and I glued it onto there, and then using one of our scraps of card I've glued it over the top so that you can't see it from that side, so it's just flipping open. Right, so that's already on there and dry, as you can see. Oh, it's stuck down. So that's already glued onto my closure. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to eyeballing where I think it's going to look good. I'm going to open it out. I'm going to pop it on there so I know that that's where I want my closure to be. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to let my magnet find its place, so it wants to be there. I've got some double-sided tape there to hold it in place. So I'm just going to fold that down like that. I'm going to remove that just to make life easier for me. I'm going to see if I can take that off And like I said, it's not easy because I can't find anything at the moment. But you know, people still have birthdays even though I'm trying desperately to move things around. Let's see, actually, let's use that. I can't find my pokey tool. Let's use the... Okay, I'm just going to lift this up, if it'll come. It's being a bit stubborn. There we go. It always happens, doesn't it, when you least... I've got fingernails, which everyone says, oh, you'll be able to do that. But no, it just won't come, even with fingernails. There we go. So I should take that off because it's just going to make it easier. A bit extra to stick down. Oh, another aeroplane. Got it all going on tonight, haven't I? Aeroplanes, hubby. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's busy making something. He made us some Christmas trees using pallet wood at Christmas that we then put in the porch with all of the handmade stars and things that I'd made, and some of the little trees that I'd made at Christmas. It looked quite effective in the porch with some lights on. I meant to do a small video on it, but then completely forgot. Right then, so I've got a small scrap of card. Actually, that one might be better, the smaller. Don't know whether small is best or whether big is best. Anyway, I'll go with the bigger one. So I'm just going to put some glue on that. Let's hope this isn't going to squirt out all over the place. There we go. Some glue on that. I'm going to pop that over the top. That's just to hide the magnet. Okay. There we go. I'm going to rub that down really hard with the bone folder just because it helps. I could yell at him to be quiet, but I hope you can't hear it very much on the video. I'll have words with him afterwards. He'll need to check. Mind you, when I'm upstairs, hopefully that won't be such a problem. Right, I do have some of these. I don't know if you've seen these soft grip, I don't know what you'd call them, soft grips. I got them from the works a couple of years ago, and they're really useful for things like this because they will just hold down the paper for me while it glues. Okay, I'm going to put something on that while that glues. Okay, I'm going to pop you on pause and come back to you when that's dry. Okay, that's all dried now, so next step is to use my glue to glue this down like that. So I'm going to go up both those edges there and then pin that down so it glues. So I'm just going to follow the corner ever so slightly. There we go, it's coming out a bit better now, isn't it? And then this side is the same. Up that side. There we go. Now then, let's pull that over. Watch any spillages. Get rid of that. Now, and hold that down. I'm going to use my soft grips again just to hold that tight for a moment. Okay. There then, while that's gluing, oh, it'd help if it went all the way, wouldn't it? Right, now then, I'm going to make another one of these later on. We have more birthdays this month, so I'll do another one later. So that's that all done. Now I've got the other card, which I shall put a sentiment on there, a little message for Jake when I've done. so that can go in there. So that's those two, and then let's rub those to encourage that to dry a bit. I think that's gripped it. Pop these back up so I don't forget. So yeah, I've been having lots of fun doing my moving my room around. It's been when I say fun, it's a lot of hard work is the truth, but it is really great fun to do because I'm finding stuff that I had completely forgotten about. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to fold that over. Hopefully it's all in the middle. Now with the extra in, it does get quite bulky, which is why you have to be really crease those lines down. Now what I'm going to do then is let this find the other magnet, fold it over. Oops. I'm going to glue that as well. Pop some glue. I'm not going to go right up to the crease because it'll glue all the way down there as well. So we don't want to glue the edges. Just want to glue the basis of this. Some glue. I'm going to go right up to the edges. Do this as well. Use my finger. That just thins it out. Helps it to dry a little bit quicker if it's spread out a bit, isn't it? I'm going to fold that over. I'm going to use one of my soft grips again to glue that. That would look really nice with a monogram on there, but unfortunately, because I can't find my powders or my stamps, my letter stamps at the moment, I'm going to have to leave that. Might be able to do it later on if I can find them before Tuesday evening when we pop down. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. But that's my take on a wallet card with which you can use for money, as a money card as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd be really pleased if this is your first time visiting, if you subscribed, and perhaps next time things will be a bit quieter with the aeroplanes and with hubby with his drilling. Okay folks, I'll speak to you soon. Oh, that's not quite dry yet. I'll leave that on. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.